Okay, this next cut is the stop cut and push cut. This would be used for creating a notch or any kind of fine work involving cutting a tenon or a joint or anything along those lines. The first cut we make is the stop cut. Now for that we just literally roll the knife around, applying downward pressure. What this effectively does is cuts through the length of the grain, so that's our stop cut, so that when we apply the push cut it stops at that point. We keep alternating between the stop cut and the push cut, slowly taking the material off. One of the important things to remember with this cut is your right hand does very little work. It's actually the push with your thumb that creates the cut. So I only need to hold this blade lightly. It's the pushing action with the thumb that allows me to make the cut. So that's the push cut and the stop cut. Okay, the next cut I'm going to show you is quite a tricky cut to get right, and sometimes can be construed as cutting towards yourself, which a lot of people, think is a bad thing. It isn't, as long as it's done in a controlled way. Now, what you'll see a lot of people doing is applying pressure towards the blade with the thumb. This is an extremely bad idea. The number of thumbs that I've seen cut from people doing this when the knife unexpectedly goes through the material straight into their thumb, you don't even want to know about. But this looks like that's being done, but it isn't. What we're doing here is the squeeze cut. And the way this works is I'm applying pressure with the thumb, but the thumb is offset to the side of the blade. What I'm actually doing is squeezing with the hand. So I'm applying pressure with the thumb and squeezing with the hand. So the blade is going nowhere, and it's certainly going nowhere near any of my fingers. So as I'm applying pressure, with the thumb, the blade is coming to the side. It can be used for much finer work, much more delicate work than any of the other cuts. And at the same time it's quite a strong cut because of the application of pressure with the thumb. So that's the squeeze cut. Okay, the final cut I'm going to show you today is called the drill cut. Now this would be used for, say, making a socket to make a bow drill set or something along those lines. Now one of the biggest mistakes you see people make is them holding it in their hand and doing this. Now this is a recipe for disaster because the knife can go off in any direction, close to fingers, anything like that. Very straightforward to do this safely. All you need to do is just put it down on a surface that ultimately isn't going to matter if you slip off anywhere. Okay, so it's as simple as that. It can be against a tree, it can be against anything that's solid and solid enough to take the knife without damaging it. A simple cut, you literally stick the point in and turn the blade, allowing the point of the blade to do the work. Move the object around so that you get an even cut all the way around. All the time being mindful of where that knife will go if it ever slips. So there you go, the drill cut.